And welcome to another edition of Flashpoints on Washington Unplugged. I'm Bob Orr, along with our national security analyst Juan Zarate. And it's a very, very busy day because there is breaking news out of Norway. It looks like a coordinated terror attack of some type. What do we make of this one?
Well, it's not clear yet what's happened, Bob. We have what appears to be a serious bomb attack on the Prime Minister's office in downtown Oslo. Then you have a report of a shooter at a retreat, an island off the coast there of Norway who shot a number of people. Reports are now that we may be seeing 25, 30 casualties. It's not clear if they're related, but the suspicion is that they are, and this looks like a coordinated attack. This in the wake of a number of problems we saw last summer, the arrest of 3 individuals, al-Qaeda related, planning attacks against Chinese targets in Norway, and all sorts of targeting and rumors about Norway being in the crosshairs for al-Qaeda. And so this raises the specter: is Norway now the victim of an al-Qaeda attack, centrally driven, or is this tied to some other factors internally to Norway?
In the past, we've seen the now new leader of al-Qaeda, Dr. Ayman al-Zawahiri, kind of put Norway on notice, saying you're fighting along with the infidels. He mentioned Iraq and Afghanistan. We know Norway's had a presence there.
That's right. Norway has been part of the ISAF forces since the get-go in Afghanistan. In 2007, Ayman al-Zawahiri did warn Norway directly. Keep in mind as well, Norway has gotten caught up in the Danish cartoon controversy. In 2006, a Norwegian newspaper reprinted the cartoons, and so Norway then became a subject of focus. Their embassy in Syria was attacked, and all sorts of targeting started to happen. And Norway and the Scandinavian countries in general have started to see more pressure on them. You recall the car bomb in Stockholm last year as well. And we're seeing an al-Qaeda related statement linking these attacks to that attack in Stockholm, which is interesting. So Norway has not fallen outside of the targeting orbit of al-Qaeda. I wouldn't say it's a priority, but it may be a target of convenience for al-Qaeda. It's where they do have some operatives, it's where they've had a network, and they have folks there allied to al-Qaeda like Mullah Krekar, the firebrand leader of Ansar al-Islam, sometimes known as Ansar al-Sunnah.
Recently indicted, I think, and he warned prosecutors, don't mess with me.
Right. The timing of this is very interesting because Mullah Krekar, again, well known in jihadi circles, has been facing deportation from Norway to Iraq. But that has stalled because of human rights concerns. The fact is he's likely to be executed if he's returned to Iraq. And so Norway has stalled that. But he has said publicly now that if he is returned, Norway will face retribution. And that then led to terrorism charges, which were made public this week. And so there is a real question here: is this an element of his network, which is quite violent, has been part of the Iraqi insurgency, whether or not that was mobilized to attack Norway? I think it's a little too much to say that his network did that, but there is so much intrigue in Norway and ties to the global jihadi network and targeting that you just don't quite know what's at play. One other thing to remember, Bob, you've had Norwegians as well fighting with al-Shabaab in Somalia. And one of the concerns all along for Western governments is that some of these Western recruits that have fought in Somalia, to include Americans, would come back and perpetrate homegrown style attacks in the homeland. And so they've got to worry about that as well.
If this is a terror attack, we have to say now it looks like that, but we don't know for sure. This is a strange mixture. You have what could be a vehicle bomb, some kind of large explosion downtown, and then at a remote island, one gunman. Isn't that strange?
It's a little strange, but it may be the harbinger of things to come, and that terrorists and terrorist groups or cells, individuals, are taking advantage of the opportunities available to them. This is frankly the message we're hearing from Anwar al-Awlaki and al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. Their message in all of these newsletters and publications that they're putting out in their rants is to take advantage of your environment. Don't come fight here with us. Fight in your homeland. Use whatever weapons you have available to you, including regular guns and armaments. So this may be the harbinger of things to come, and this starts to look like a little bit of an amalgam of a Mumbai-style attack with a classic car bomb attack, and so I just think we're going to be facing adaptations, and no one should be surprised that an Oslo faces an attack like this, because we've seen it in Sweden. We know that they've been a part of the lexicon of jihadi targeting, and I think this is the harbinger of things to come, unfortunately.